What is up, y'all? This is Scarlet, aka Scardy B, aka your resident emo historian, and join me as I unpack the history of Fall Out Boy and hip hop. Look, y'all, there is a lot to cover in this limited run podcast, so strap on in, 'cause sugar, we're going in. Welcome to Sugar, We're Going In, y'all. This is the first episode, the pilot, whatever you want to call it. But I'm so thankful to be here with y'all, because if you're listening to this, it means that you either know me personally and feel bad, or you really like this subject of Fall Out Boy and hip hop. My name is Scarlet Estelle Hernandez. I'm a first-generation Dominican American working in the music industry. Fall Out Boy has been my favorite band for 18 years. So a fan since 2005, right? That means that I was on the message boards. If you were also a boardie, you already know the vibes. FOBR, that was a place, it was the Wild West, y'all. Y'all are telling me that a bunch of 12, 13, and 14-year-old Fall Out Boy fans were allowed to interact with each other at that age? That's crazy. If you were a boardie, hit me up. Would love to hear from you. But that's where really it started. And I would spend my summers on these message boards talking, discussing, getting to know more about what's going on with this band. And it was just such a formidable time for me that I can truly today look back and be like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's why I am what I am. Oh, that's why I got those Jordans, etc., etc. So that's a little piece of what's been going on since 2005 with me. But let's go all the way to about a couple of years ago, where I was just very inspired for some reason to talk about Fall Out Boy and hip hop on Twitter. Now, I had this thread starting at Thriller, going all the way through American Beauty, American Psycho remixes, talking about the Rockefeller chains, and talking about everything in between that was really a big influence on what I do today. And I noticed that a lot of people felt the same way, which really excited me and wanted me to get talking more about what it is that this connection between Fall Out Boy and hip hop have, not only with me, but with a ton of other people, specifically people of color that have grown up with this music and have maybe not always felt so welcome in the scene, but have always found a way back to each other online. And a lot of that has continued through Twitter, right? So I had another tweet talking about the Honda Civic tour and how Fall Out Boy popped out from the stage to the sounds of Jay-Z's voice and literally what it did to my brain in 2007. That was my first concert. I remember my mom getting us tickets, and they were literally the last row before getting to lawn, and I felt like I was front row. That was the Honda Civic tour, so I saw them for the first time June 6th, 2007. I remember the date so clearly, and it was The Academy Is, Cobra Starship, Plus 44, and Paul Wall opening. Paul Wall, Let Me See Your Grills, Paul Wall was opening for Fall Out Boy. And I remember how big that song was. If you weren't taking your bubblegum wrapper and putting it on your bottom teeth like grills, you were not living. You were not there. And to have that be my introduction, my first ever concert, absolutely stapled everything that I was feeling, right? Living between this world of hip hop and rock. And that's the world that I happily lived in, because I knew that what I liked was what I liked, and that it would come back to serve me as it does right now. Also on this tour, opening for Fall Out Boy in Texas was 50 Cent, y'all. So we're talking about 2007, 50 Cent opening for Fall Out Boy in Texas. I would have given so much monies to be there at that show, just understanding what it would have meant to me today. Can you imagine hearing Many Men before Fall Out Boy comes on? I think I would literally ascend through the amphitheater, into the heavens, through the stratosphere, and back again. Like the amount of FOMO I have over something that I never experienced or was able to experience at that time is daunting. But we'll get into that. let's bring it back to that 2007 land, right? The big inspo time. I remember hearing the intro to Thriller and absolutely losing my mind because I was such a big fan of Linkin Park's Collision Course with Jay-Z. Like, that really solidified a lot of my thoughts about how rock and hip hop can and should interact. And Jay-Z was a pioneer in that. A pioneer, not only just creating for rock, but creating with rock, and Linkin Park being so open to creating not for hip hop, but with hip hop. And that really opened my eyes to, this dude not only talks the talk, but definitely walks the walk. So again, I remember Linkin Park's Collision Course. We've got Jay-Z. I'm like, all right, Hove, number one, wow. And then you're telling me that he is on the intro to a highly anticipated album by Fall Out Boy in 2007. That was 100% just like encapsulating of everything I thought of, what Jay-Z knows and what Fall Out Boy was here to prepare. But these are all just pieces of a bigger puzzle that was so behind the scenes starting in like 2004 that not a lot of people know about. Basically, I knew that there had to be other hip hop and emo nerds like me, and I am on a mission to find them. Just as recently as 2023, Pete Wentz was saying that he would love a collaboration with Kid Cudi and Fall Out Boy. Like, that is so massive to me because that would be somebody else's generation's Collision Course. And I definitely think that Kid Cudi would be the perfect person to take that on. On a legendary Hype Men podcast, Pete even said it himself, like, we are your favorite rapper's favorite brand, and they have tested and tried it and proven it so many times, and I'm so excited to dig deeper and get y'all excited about what that looks like. So here's what we're here for, okay? So enough of the sappy anecdote. I'm going to be taking these episodes in chronological order as it happened, that way as to give as much full context as possible to what happened during, before, and after these albums, tracks, remixes, tours, etc. I'm so excited. Tune in next time. Until then, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and if you like what you heard, give me feedback. I can be found on sugarwe'regoingin@gmail.com, sugarwe'regoinginpod on Instagram, and you can find me, Scarlet Estelle, 1T, SCARLETESTELLE on Instagram and Twitter. I would love to hear from you. But finally, thank y'all so much for listening. Looking forward to taking this journey with y'all. And Sugar, we went in.